Hi, I'm Dale. I'm a realtor with West USA Realty, and today I'm going to be talking to you, my first-time homebuyers, about a few things that you should absolutely know before you start the process of buying. Hi guys, so a lot of the things I'm going to be talking about today is essential for you to know as a homebuyer because a lot of this knowledge could save you a lot of heartache in the long run. So let's jump in. Alright, number one, so the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is why finding a good agent is so important and some tips on how to do that. Now I know it might seem obvious that you want to have a good agent, but think about why. This person's not only responsible for finding your next home, the next place you're going to live, but this person's handling the contracts and all the paperwork of essentially one of the biggest purchases you're probably ever going to make in your lifetime. So you want to make sure that that's being handled correctly and by somebody who's devoted to you. So what are some of my tips for finding a good agent? Well, first you want to call around, you want to talk to a lot of people. You want to make sure that you get the right feeling from them, that they're going to be devoted to helping you and know what they're doing. Now, knowing what they're doing doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have 20 years of experience. Sometimes maybe they've lived in this place their entire life, so maybe they haven't had all the years of experience selling in that area, but maybe they know it better than anyone. Also, with a new person, they may be working on a team or working under another agent. Sometimes that's actually better because in that scenario, you don't have just one agent looking over your contracts and paperwork. You have multiple agents searching every little line, making sure that everything's being done correctly. So take the time, do your research, and remember, a good agent equals good recommendations for lenders, and that's important. Alright, so number two, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about after you've found your agent is pre-qualified versus pre-approved. Now, no matter what you choose, you want to have this done before you start looking at homes. Trust me, I've seen it too many times where they didn't take this step or their agent didn't even bother to tell them to do this, and they were sold on a house, they loved this house. By the time they spoke with a lender and found out what they are actually able to get, they couldn't afford that house and they were heartbroken. Everything they looked at afterwards just wasn't the same. So you want to have this done beforehand so that you know what you can afford. But what is the difference between pre-approved and pre-qualified? Let's get into it. Alright, so pre-qualified versus pre-approved. What's the difference? When you get pre-qualified, you're basically just telling the lender your information and they're going to tell you what they think they can lend you, and that's about it. When you get pre-approved, you're able to know the exact amount you're going to be getting because you're actually giving them all your information. You're going to get approved for that loan before you go shopping. So that way, once you find the home you're ready to make an offer on, you can just call the bank and say, hey, we're ready to go. Either way, it's super important. You want to have this step done beforehand. All right, number three, since we're on the topic of finance, down payments. Just thinking about it is scary, I know. But let's talk about it a little bit and hopefully I can do something to ease your concerns. All right, so down payments. What do I need to have saved? How does this vary? These are important questions. So a lot of times you're going to be paying anywhere from 0 to 5% depending on the type of loan you're getting. 0% being if you're getting a VA loan, which is for my veterans, 5% being on the high end for a conventional loan, which is generally the type of loan you would get from just any normal bank. Whereas my first-time homebuyers, you're probably considering an FHA loan. That's going to be around 3.5%, maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher. I know I'm throwing all these words and numbers at you. Don't get scared. Don't start doing the math in your head and freaking yourself out. You're probably thinking, well, what's 3% of 100,000? That's still a lot of money. Don't worry, there's down payment assistance options. You may have heard of them before and thought that's a scam, but do your research. There's good programs out there and they can help. All right, number four, credit score. I've heard so many times people say, I can't get approved right now because my credit score is too low. Yes, you can. You can get approved with a credit score as low as 580. You just need to find the right lender, and finding a good agent is going to be essential for those lender recommendations. Now, I've also heard people say that once they find out they can get approved, they're like, well, I just want to wait till my credit score is better. I understand that, but think about how much money you're throwing away every month on rent that could have been going towards owning your home. You can refinance later on down the line when your credit score is better so that you can get that better rate. But in the meantime, I think it's worth it to pay maybe $100, $200 more than what you're already paying in rent, and that's going towards owning your home, not just being given away to somebody else. Alright, so number 5, this is a common question I get, as well as a common reason I've seen other agents turn down for business in the past. How long is this going to take me? I've got a lot going on in my life right now. I don't have a whole lot of time to devote to doing all this work to get a house. Well, first off to that, I want to say your agent should be doing a lot of the work for you. But to answer that question, on average, it takes 30 to 45 days from the time you put in your offer until the time the house is yours. However, if you want that place really badly and you have a motivated seller, you could probably get that place within 2 weeks. Alright, so my last piece of advice for the day, another common question I get from my first-time homebuyers: do I need to do a final walkthrough? Yes, you do. This is so important. And you also want to make sure that when you're shopping around for a realtor that you're gonna ask them this. Not because you need to know if it's important or not, because I just told you it is, but because you want to hear their answer. If there's someone who's not gonna be that devoted to you, someone who's not gonna really want to take their time to do their job right, they're gonna tell you that this isn't an important step, and they're gonna tell you to skip it. A good agent, one who's gonna do their job right and one who's gonna make sure they're doing their best by you, is going to make sure that you know how important this is and is gonna make sure that you do it. Alright guys, thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you found this information helpful. If you have any other questions or referrals to send me, I'll leave my contact information in the description below. Have a great day.